Welcome to Where There's Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian, your Make a Bicy casual gamer,
I'm Stacy. I'm a non-gamer gamer.
and we are here today with an initial impressions of Food Truck Race, which is coming to Kickstarter later this spring. This is being brought to us by Gregory Alford, who is self-publishing it. It plays 2 to 4 players in 40 to 75 minutes. I'm just going to read the little synopsis from the rule book here. It says, congratulations, you've emptied your bank account in order to buy your own food truck, and now you get to work tirelessly to make this startup business profitable. As you roll up to the farmer's market with your last $5, you see your competition starting their shift. Load up your kitchen and start the race to $50. The chef with the most money at the end of the game wins. All right, let's go down to the table because I think the theme here is going to come through better if you can actually see some of the components before we actually talk about them too much. So the theme of this game, I think, comes through quite nicely.
Oh, absolutely.
In your player boards, so you have your player boards. We'll look at these a little bit closer, but each person has a player board that is a different food truck. There's 4 different ones. So that right there is a nice little, it increases the theme. You got your farmer's market here. At your park, you got a bunch of stuff going on in the park. The farmer's market's going on over here at this side of the park. So you got a lot of people going on in the park. You're starting on your $5, which we'll talk about. So I think the theme of this one, I think the theme comes through nicely.
Oh, absolutely. And even with the food trucks, when we talk about them more, each one's themed differently. So you have different kinds of foods that you're running. So I think that comes across very well, as well as the cards and things, but we'll get into all of that.
Yeah, the different upgrades, the ingredients, all the stuff around
Mhm.
here. So yeah, I think the theme of this one is a pretty strong theme. As you'll see when we talk about the details of it a little bit more. All right, components of the game. Well, let's start with like the main
The
thing.
obvious
The
part
obvious,
of the game.
like you're running a food truck. So, and there's a little bit of glare. We had to turn our top lights on, and unfortunately, that's getting a little bit of glare here. So if I, oh, there we go. If I tilt them a little bit, so you can see these different food trucks. If we get it too close, yeah. So we're getting a little different glare. So we've got all, oh my gourd. So that's a one, and then smash burger. Each one is themed. The slice is right, pizza themed one.
And I like taco or leave it. Oh, darn it.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a glare here. Our top light had to be turned on, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not right now. So yeah, so you got your food trucks that are all themed. You've got each person has a card which has the recipes for their food truck and which ingredients are needed. So that's nice. Each food truck is nicely themed. It has the design on the back. Then each person has a 2-sided card. These are the 2 sides. Playing 2 players, we can each get one, but one side has your turn sequence, and the other side has how much everything costs at the farmer's market. You're going to be buying your ingredients from the farmer's market. You have these nice, pretty thick tiles that are upgrades for your food truck in here. So you have your where you're prepping stuff, and then you have your mise en place where you are putting after you prep things, you actually have that food ready to serve. So you can get different upgrades. You can get more space. You can get some different equipment. You get more space for your mise en place and some different things. So there's something, and then you have your tokens, which are your my mind just went blank. Your grocery tokens. So you have to get your grocery, your 6 different groceries. I want to hand me one of each of those. So you have your 6 different types of groceries. Your spices, your your spices are free to get, and those are the blue ones. And then you have your dough is the brown, your produce is green, cheese is yellow, protein is pink, and oil is black. The oil and the protein are $2 each. And then you have your order cards. So there's some order cards, different orders people want, and then there's city cards in here. And this is a prototype copy of the game, so components are subject to change. But the city version gives you some kind of challenges you have to kind of go for or get rid of before you can move on, or different things. And some of these are part of a city expansion. And then you have your board where you're moving around and everything. Here's a couple more city cards.
And these are, pardon me, these are your guest checks. So this is what your customers are going to be ordering from you.
And even these are a nice quality card. Like they're not too thin. So I think that's all the components. Oh, and then you have your dice. So you have your ABC dice, which is going to tell you um on your food truck which items you can actually prep. So you have three different areas here that you can have groceries in, and then those are the things that you're prepping to put in your mise en place. And then you have your 1, 2, 3 dice, which tells you how much of that you prep. And then you have your hangriest customer uh, standee here, which goes to the lead chef, as they call it. And then when he comes around, we'll show you at the end of a round, uh, something happens. And this is just kind of to remind you when you do that extra action. But yeah, so there are all of the components of the game.
Artwork. The artwork was done by Mario Zucca, and I think he did a really good job on theming all of the artwork towards the food industry. Like I said earlier, each truck has its own theme, and it's done very well with the decoration of the food truck.
I just noticed that.
Yeah, and the awnings that are hanging over each place where the customers are standing. It's done very well. It's very oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, it's cartoonish, but it's done in a kind of a realistic cartoonish way, if that makes any sense
And
to,
even
to people.
the customers. So we'll show you the gameplay in a little while, but like the customers, these ones are a little more chill. They just got there. The ones on the end, those ones are pretty hangry. Those ones are hangry. So they are really mad. These ones in the middle are getting a little impatient. These ones here are pretty hangry, and just the highlighting that and them actually being like looking like they're really mad, and the ones that are just walking up being kind of chill and relaxed. That's I like that.
I like that as well. And these boards are two-sided
Yes,
as
there's a
well.
pop-up play to learn mini game on the back to help you learn how to play the game.
Which we didn't need because we're so darn smart. Um, but yeah, I like the artistry of this game. Um, even on the tiles that you'll be buying, which we'll explain again later, um, shows
There's some
you,
nice little, yeah.
yeah, shows you all the mechanics that go into putting a food truck together. I think he did it in a very, very good way.
And the tokens, like I showed you, they have nice little, pictures on them of the different things. The city cards, which are these ones. So you can see there's you definitely passed. What else we got here? We got trash bin fine. So you got some nice art on those. Oh, what's this one? Oh, the porta potty. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need to clean out your porta potty. Oh, power outage. That's not good. So the artwork on those shows you, has some funny artwork to show you what those are worth, or what those cards mean. So, all right.
Even the artwork on the tokens, on one side it shows what that token is for, and then on the other side it does remind you of the cost. If you can see that. So I do like the artwork on those as well.
Yeah, it's nice and simple. It's
While
very
we were
easy to
playing it, it reminded me what I was trying to earn. So
Yes.
that's not a color that you put on your board, but it actually has artistically drawn condiments or oil or whatever, so that you do know what you are playing for.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Setup. To set up the game, first, each player gets a food truck. Couldn't remember what it was called for there. Each player gets their food truck card that has their foods. So you can see the burger one. So each person has a snack, an appetizer, a small entree, and a large entree, and they cost the same amount to serve them. But as you can see, the ingredients you need are different, and that comes into play big time during the game. And then each person would get one of these player aid cards, which has a turn sequence on one side and a farmer's market on the other. Like I said, with a 2-player, it was nice. We were able to get 2 of them um, and flip one on both sides. And then each player gets a blue snack guest check, a blue appetizer guest check, and a red double appetizer guest check. And then you put the rest of them here. And then these, you find out the blue meter maid and put it on the $10 corner, the red tow truck, put it on the $25 corner, and the food inspection, put it on the $35 corner, and then you shuffle up the rest of the cards, put them here. You sort out your ingredients, and you can put the grocery disc with the food token in the same ones. They come with these little boats. I guess we didn't show these with the boats, these little food truck race boats that you can put your stuff in. And then each person, like it said, you start with $5. So every one of the food trucks goes on the $5 mark. And then these upgrades, what you do is starting with so then you choose the head chef, and the head chef gets the hangriest customer in front of him. That just reminds you when you have to do the hangriest customer action, which we'll talk about later. But then starting with the head chef, what you're going to do is each person back and forth until you've each picked 6. You're going to pick upgrades that are going to be in the game that during that turn. So I'll start. I'm going to pick that one. So there's one like that.
I don't want that one.
You can pick from over here too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, I'm gonna go with big prep.
So over here. So these go over here.
Oh, okay.
Because the blue one go here and the red one. Okay. So yeah, you have your prep areas, and then you have your food areas, and these ones, the blue ones go on one side, the reds go on the other. These are a nice one.
I'm gonna go with Shaka Khan. I'm gonna go up to 3 groceries.
Oh, okay. This one's not too shabby. This spice grinder. So some of these are spice grinder. It preps 2 spices every round, which everything you have needs spice. So on the dice roll.
Where is the? Oh, you already have it up there. Oh, good.
What?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And then this one takes up a couple spaces, so we'll
But
use that one.
but it allows
you
for a
can
lot more stuff.
store,
And I
yeah.
want another one of those in there because that one's a nice one to have because it allows you to move your stuff in and out. So how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we each get one more. I'm going to go. I go first.
I know. I'm just
Oh, you're
looking.
looking at them. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just go with this.
Oh,
This wheelstone adds +1 to all A dice rolls. So you get one more thing for every
I'm
dice roll.
going to go with the fancy condiments.
Okay. All right. And we'll kind of talk about some of these during the gameplay, some of these other ones, but so that's how you set up the game. And then the rest of them just go to the side for future games. All right. So, and I think that is everything for setup.
I believe so.
Yeah. All right. On to the gameplay. So, starting with the head chef, you each get to go on a pre-game shopping trip, spending your $5. What you want to do is you want to try and get ingredients. You may get some upgrades. Some of those upgrades are pretty inexpensive. You cannot go below $0. So you start by going on a pre-game shopping trip, spending your money, and you will spend your $5. So like I'm gonna look at this, I'm gonna go, well, I need spices. I also need the produce, and for the appetizers, I need dough. So those are going to be things that I'm going to get. I'm going to go. The spices are free, so I'm just going to put that in my A. And then I need dough. Dough costs $1, so I'm going to move my truck back $1 for one space. And then I need produce, the green token, and I'm going to move back another space. And then Stacy will do the same thing.
I get spice.
You almost need the same things for your snack and your appetizers.
So
It's just a slightly different order. So you need a dough.
And I'm gonna go with the produce because I need that before I need my other stuff.
Yep.
So produce.
So you'll notice our two produce need the exact same things. They're written in a different order because her snack needs the dough and my snack needs the produce.
I need the dough for the tortillas.
And if we let's show these other ones because these other ones don't need the same things. So this one needs this you'll notice the spices are with everything. This one needs cheese. And then this one needs produce. So and then this one needs cheese and produce, and so does this. So these two kind of mirror up with each other as well on that first one. So all right. So there is the pre-game shopping. And then all you do is you roll the dice. The turn sequence is that each person gets to do steps 1 and 2. So there are 4 steps. Each person gets to do steps 1 and 2, and then whoever rolled the dice gets to do 3 and 4. So we roll the prep. So I roll the A1. So my A is spices. So I get 1 spice token, and I get to put in my mise en place. And that's it. So then we can plate orders. We don't have anything to plate. We don't have enough food. Then you can pay any fines you have from the city cards. Then if you have spaces here, so if I was to serve this, you would move everything down, and then you get to draw a new order card. You can also, if you've got a lot of if you've got a lot of food here, you can sell these as condiments, and you can sell 3 of them to get $1. So if you need money and you've got a lot of stuff that you can't use right now, you can do that. Then whoever rolled the dice gets 2 more steps. They get to shop. So I roll the dice, so I would get to shop and buy more food grocery discs. I would get to buy 1 upgrade on my turn, and I could also organize my truck. So at some point, I'm gonna maybe have something like this set up here, and I'm gonna probably have something like this. And so this upgrade token is like a refrigerator. So it gives you 2 more spots in your mise en place, but it also gives you a fridge so you can store up to 3 groceries. So if I had stuff, I could have this stuff here. And let's say I really need my protein, but I've got a lot of vegetables. I could switch these, or a lot of produce. I could switch these so I could organize my truck however I wanted. Or maybe I want to try and double up over here. I can move these things around on my turn in that third step of the game, as I see fit. Then step 4 is just to pass the dice clockwise. So in a 3 and 4 player game, the dice just goes around until everybody rolls. In a 2 player game, there is a slightly different step in there. I'm going to put these back on here. So there's 1 extra step. So to get the game going a little bit quicker, in between each person's actual turn, you roll the dice 1 more time and you share that dice roll and you do steps 1 and 2. Nobody gets steps 3 or 4, but everybody gets steps 1 or 2. It just allows the game to go a little quicker. And then you pass the dice to the next person. They do the same thing. They'll roll the dice. We'll prep C2. So we each get 2 of what's on our C. So I get 2 of the dough. I don't think I can make anything. You can't make anything. So we get the bonus roll. So take the bonus roll. And we're going to make this go to B so we can show you how this works. So B1, look, it rolled the B, so I get a produce. Because we want to show you how this part works. So this is not quite the end of round 1, but this was our extra bonus roll. So now we can plate orders that are in line. So if you notice, we each start with a snack, an appetizer, and a double appetizer. So my snack needs 1 spice and 1 produce. My appetizer needs 1 spice, 1 produce, and 1 dough. Since I have 1 of each, I'm going to serve that customer, even though this is my hangriest customer. You know, and it's actually good because I'll show you what happens here. So I'm going to serve this, so I get $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then those go back. This is served. This slides down. And this, I'm going to take something. Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. So Stacy's going to do the same thing.
I served an appetizer for $4. So $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can move my guest check down. I gotta draw a big order. Got a
Oh, we have these in the wrong spot.
order. Oops.
I meant to draw a big order, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Okay, so now what we just showed you was doing steps 1 and 2 in turn order. Steps 1 and 2 are actually done in real time. So when you roll the dice, you're both doing things. Or if you have 3 or 4 players, everybody is driving for stuff, everybody's making their things, because depending on how quickly you move around stuff, you can start doing things a little differently, or you can maybe make someone move ahead first because some of these things are penalties for them. So you are doing all of that in real time. So everybody is collecting they're prepping their food that's in their bottom of their truck. They're serving orders, they're drawing new orders. That is all done in real time. Now, we are done with the round. So I drew one of these small orders, and this says kids meal. Cuts to the front of the line, sell 3 ingredient cubes, not including spice, for $3, then discard. So this is going to jump to the front of the line. So in order to get rid of that, I have to sell 3 ingredient cubes. I don't have them, and it cannot include spice. He is already angry, which is why he's cutting to the front of the line. So here's the hangriest customer part of it. At the end of a round, so if it's 3 or 4 players, it's after everybody rolls the dice once. 2 players is after you roll the dice and then do that extra little non-playable chef roll, and then the second player rolls and you do another non-playable chef roll. Then you go to the hangriest customer phase of the end to end the round. And what you do here is at the end of the round, you pass your rightmost card to the right. So they are mad. You did not serve them yet. They are gone. They don't want to go there. So, and then it goes into your leftmost. Everything slides down. So Stacy now has this one. So now she would have to sell 3 ingredients. This resets. So this thing resets as if it is brand new. So that's what happened. So he actually cuts to the front of the line now, I guess. So he's going to cut to the front of the line. So if that doesn't get served, that is going to need to stay in the same order.
Thank you.
So he's going to cut to the front of the line every time. So until that goes away, that cuts to the front of the line.
Until I can get three ingredients to sell.
Or until she decides, you know what, it's going to go back to me on my turn, or at the end of the round. That may be one, like, I don't want to get rid of 3 ingredients. I'm just going to let him keep on going around. So that is a full round. You roll the dice, you collect the number of whatever letter you rolled, you put them in your mise en place, you plate orders in line if you can, you pay fines, progress the line to the right. You can sell these as condiments for $1, 3 for $1, and then you draw a new card. So some of the fines, so like the meter maid has a $5 fine on it. So the meter maid says, cuts to the front of the line, chef cannot draw new orders, turn your truck 90 degrees at front of space. Other chefs cannot pass you, which means they can't go past you. So you could keep that on there so nobody could get past you, even if they sell food. If paid or it leaves, then the chef may draw a new order card in the next turn sequence. So if you pay it, or if it leaves your hand and goes to the other person, then you can draw new cards on the next turn sequence. So after you roll and stuff. So you don't have to pay that right. That can end up going to the next person, and if it does, it cuts to the front of the line. So someone's going to cost money. It's going to cost someone money at some point. And you play the game until one person gets $50, and they are the winner. Now, there are a couple of variants in here. There is what is called the Top Chef mode, which is a little more challenging. In that mode, a couple changes are the head chef selects the upgrade tiles at random, and the after each prep, the chefs actually discard their prep grocery discs. So normally these grocery discs stay here. But in the Top Chef mode, if I prep this food, it goes away and I have to buy it again. So you have to keep on buying it every time, which I think would extend the game quite a lot because you would have to spend a lot of money. And then there's a couple of extra modes in here for end game. and you can play till someone has $100. So you can go around twice, or you can play. Let's see, where is it? Um, there's an end of race where the first chef to advance their meeple to or past the $50 spot on the game board must declare the end of the race. They must either call final round or call for an extension to $100. So you get one more round, or um, or you get peasant. So that's either final round. So final round um adds 10 minutes, or $100 extension says adds about 20 minutes to the playtime. So the first chef to advance their meeple to or past the $50 spot on the game board must declare the end of the race. They must either call final round or call for an extension to $100. So there are a couple things that you do at the end of the game. But there's the gameplay. Replayability.
I think there's a lot of replayability with this.
I do too.
Depending on what truck that you do choose, because you do get the different ingredients. And every time you do make something, depending on what stack you choose from, on what you're going to have. If you draw a combination of big orders and small orders, and the way that you get your hangry customers, some of these are negative cards, some of them are positive cards.
There's 80 total order
Yep.
cards, so those are going to come out.
Yep. So I think that, each time you play, you can play with a different truck, and you can have your different meals that you're making for people. So I think there's all kinds of replayability with
And then on top
this.
of that, there's 28 upgrade
Yeah.
tiles, and you're only grabbing 6 each.
Yep.
So, like in a 2-player game, you're not even grabbing half of them. Now, if you're playing a 4-player game, you're grabbing almost all of them every time. But in a 2-player game, we're not even grabbing half of them.
Right.
So, but you're always going to have some that aren't in there. So yeah, that replayability with the different setup, with the upgrades, the different trucks that you need ingredients in different orders, um, the amount of order cards and shuffling these, and if you get city cards out or if you just get guest check cards out. Yeah, so I think this one's
Yeah.
gonna have a decent amount of replayability. I can also see there being stuff in the future,
Yep.
which talk about it a little bit in final
Yep.
expansions or final thoughts. So yeah, I think this one has quite a bit of replayability, just those different things. And you would play differently. You would learn to be like, okay, wait, I don't want to go so fast here. Okay, maybe I want to build up. You could go slow to go fast. You could go fast really quick, hopefully. You could upgrade a lot early to hopefully be able to go quick. Like you get money and like boom, I'm spending that money right away on my turn to upgrade, because later on it's gonna help me even more. So yeah, I think this game is going to have quite a bit of replayability. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. What are your final thoughts?
I really like this game. I like the idea of this game. I like the concept of it. I like the I really like this whole food truck where you're prepping stuff, or you're getting your food here in the bottom, and then you're prepping it up here, and you can upgrade, because that feels like what you would do if you owned a food truck. Um, and then you're trying to figure out, okay, what ingredients do I need? Okay, I'm gonna lose this, like depending on which roll of the dice it is. Like, okay, I'm gonna lose that soon. So if I don't do that, am I okay with that? What am I gonna draw? Like, what am I gonna do here and there? Um, I thought it was a really fun game. I think this one is one I'll be keeping an eye on when it comes to Kickstarter for sure.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this game as well. One of the things that I do like about this game is that if you run out of your mise en place, you can buy the upgrade, and so you can store more items up here, but you can also upgrade down here in your prep station as well. So that's going to improve what you're able to do as well. Um, it took me a while to understand that, but once I caught on to that, I had a lot of fun playing this, and moving my tokens around so that I knew what I could prep, so that I could get it to my customers. Um, I loved the theme of my truck, my little taco truck here that I played with twice. It's a cute, fun game. I really enjoy watching the Food Network. I don't know if I'm allowed
We
to say
we
that.
we watch a lot of food shows. So
Yeah.
this one,
So this one was honestly right up our alley, but even if you don't enjoy that kind of television watching, I think if you like food and you eat food, which I think is almost everybody likes to eat
yeah,
food. This
most
there's
people have probably been to a food truck.
yeah,
They've probably been the chill. They've probably been the hangry
yeah,
customer. I know I have.
I have, and so I think this resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah. One thing I didn't mention earlier is in these blue tiles for the bottom of your food truck, the rightmost space is
Mhm.
powered. So some of these need to go there. And that means it just needs electricity. You can upgrade one of these per game. So as you're setting up with two players, unless there's two you really want, putting these all out there, maybe you don't get those, but maybe you can, use like, well, I want to get one of them, so I'm gonna put two of them out there because there's two I really like.
Yep.
But yeah, this is a really fun game, and like we said before, this is a prototype type, so components are subject to change, rules are subject to change and be modified. I think it's really good. I could see in the future, um, this game getting expansion trucks. It'd be very easy to add in some different themed trucks with some different recipes,
Maybe some different
some new cards,
ingredients.
maybe some new ingredients. Ingredients, I think ingredients. What you would have to do is you'd also have to give new cards because
Yeah.
you wouldn't want the new ingredients to only go towards new trucks. Um, there are a couple things with like small orders versus big orders. Like two appetizers is in the big orders deck. For me personally, I think that feels more like it should be a small order. And for me personally, I think big orders should have at least an entree in them. Or you should have at least three things because I think two appetizers, like two sets of onion rings, I don't know. So that would be my only real criticism of this is some of the big orders don't really feel like they're big orders. So I'm gonna go back to full screen here actually as we're finishing
Okay.
this. So yeah, that would be I think that would be my biggest criticism of it is the small orders are all snacks, two snacks, or one snack, two snacks, or one appetizer. I think two appetizers should be in here, and um I think big orders should include an entree. They could include an entree and an appetizer, or an entree and a side. All of these, all these that have entrees are like with or without a modifier. So your entrees they can add stuff onto them. I think an entree and a snack or an entree and an appetizer could be on here as well. Um, I yeah, so that's my only thing with this is I don't know if I think two appetizers make sense in the big order when you're ordering entrees. But other than that, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this and seeing what um kind of Kickstarter, upgrades and stuff there are. Um, I'm kind of hoping that these are more than cubes, but I don't think they'd fit in your mise en
No.
place as if they were. Um, but it'd be kind of cool if you had some sort of like tokens that were shaped like something, but
Oh, geez.
I mean that would have to be a deluxe upgrade,
Right.
which would increase it. But that's not something that is needed. It would just be kind of interesting to see if that's something they're looking at or thinking about.
The only criticism that I have, and this is very minor, but there's no orange truck, and that's it.
Orange is their favorite color. If you did not know this by now, so um, yeah. So an orange truck, that yeah, that would
I'd play that every single
you
time.
probably would.
I would.
Because I don't know if the trucks match necessarily the colors of the trucks.
I don't know.
So like this, I would think there should be a black truck so that you could actually have the truck. So maybe like the smash burger is black, so it'd be nice to see a black like truck. Um, and the oh my gourd is kind of a greenish, and the slice is mostly light bluish, um, and then yellow. So maybe if these trucks maybe
Match
if
them.
these trucks match the color of the actual truck on the board, that way you remember exactly. Oh wait, I'm the black one. Okay, but I mean
Yeah,
that's a minor thing. So
just a little thing. But all in all, I really did enjoy this game.
yes,
So make sure that you check it out when it does come to Kickstarter this spring. I really hope it does well because I liked it.
I do too. I do too. I do too. This is one, like I said, we will be keeping our eye on. So yeah, as always, please like, comment, subscribe below. Let us know what you think of this from our little initial impressions. Once again, this has been Where There's a Wills.
There's a play.
I'm Ian,
I'm Stacy
and we'll see you next time.
at the table.